Chef Yoda the dog here, and it's time for the Monday meal. Today's Monday meal is a chili. Great for the cold weather, but also for the big games. So if you're watching it and you want some good football food, my mom has a lot of dip recipes and stuff on the channel. You can go check those out. But if you're wanting a game day chili, this is a copycat recipe of the Texas Roadhouse chili, which is very good. If you've ever had it, it's yummy. So we are doing that, and it's from allrecipes.com. So my mom's going to do, obviously, her adjustments for food allergies. But we're going to attach in the description box below the link to the original recipe so that you can get it and use it for your game day chili. It is so yummy. It tastes just like the Texas Roadhouse chili, and we highly recommend it. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. And may the best team win. May the force be with you. Chef Yoda the dog.
Hey everyone, happy Monday. As Yoda said, we're making a Copycat Texas Roadhouse chili recipe from allrecipes.com, and I'm going to put a link of the original recipe in the description box below because of course you know I'm going to have substitutions for my allergies, and also because I didn't necessarily have the exact ingredient but something close enough, or a substitute. So anyway, we have to make this sauce first. And so it's 4 cups. They wanted beef broth. I didn't have that, so I used chicken bouillon. I think it's called Better Than Bouillon, but it's the chicken flavor. Anyway, I used that, and it's 1 teaspoon of that for every cup of water, and they wanted 4 cups of broth. So that's in there. Then we need a tablespoon of chili powder, so that's in there. Teaspoon each of paprika, black pepper, but I didn't have any, so white pepper it is. Half a teaspoon of salts, so I use Redmond's real salt, and half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So that's what's in here, and then tomato paste. So the tomato paste, they wanted 1/3 of a cup. I didn't have any tomato paste, and so as a substitute, you can use ketchup, you can use pureed tomatoes, or you can puree your own. So I didn't have tomato puree either, so I used ketchup, but I used sugar-free. I think it's Primal Kitchen. Let me show you. Yeah, I used this one. So 1/3 cup of that because it's 1-to-1 when you're replacing tomato paste with ketchup. And then here's the bouillon I used. 1 teaspoon of that for every cup. So 4 teaspoons. So that's what's in here. And then you whisk it together and set it aside. So it's setting aside. Then you have a pound of ground meat. So we're using ground venison. And then half a cup of chopped onions. So we're using our frozen chopped onions. And we got to brown those. And so that's what's going on right now in a Dutch oven. So that's what I got here. First time using my Dutch oven. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. When it's all browned, I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so once we've cooked that in, you put in half the cup of onion, and then you put in a jalapeno that's been seeded and diced. So I used the can already diced jalapeno peppers, and it said that 2 to 3 tablespoons is equal to 1 jalapeno. So I put in 2 to 3 tablespoons of that, and then 2 cloves of garlic. So minced garlic, 1 teaspoon equals 2 cloves. So I put in a teaspoon of my minced garlic. And then we had to put in 1/4 of a cup of flour. So I'm using Carnivore Crisp beef and Oregon flour. So that'll give it some of that beef flavor that we didn't get because we didn't have beef broth. So we got that in there. And you stir constantly for 1 minute once you put the flour in there. So we've done that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our liquid mixture. So get your mixture that you mix together of the tomato paste, which we use ketchup, and the broth and the spices. And we're going to pour that in here gradually, it says. And then we're going to bring it to a boil. All right, so that's in there. We're going to bring it to a boil. And then I will show you what to do next. All right, once it comes to a boil, you add in a can of diced tomatoes, undrained, and we added fire roasted diced tomatoes because that's what I had. And it'll add some flavor. And then you reduce the heat to low and let it simmer for 30 minutes uncovered. So you leave it uncovered, turn it to low, let it simmer for 30 minutes so it can thicken, and then I'll show you the finished product. All right, here's the finished product. It thickened up after 30 minutes. It looks delicious. It's very similar to the Texas Roadhouse one. Not too bad. Enjoy. Happy Monday.